She was not born into Israel. She did not grow up hearing the songs of David. She was not raised under the laws of Moses. She was a foreigner, a Moabite woman, an outsider. Yet God chose her, not because of power, not because of status, but because of her heart. This is not just the story of Ruth. It is the story of how loyalty became destiny, how obedience opened doors, and how love rewrote a broken future. In the days when judges ruled Israel, the land fell into famine. Crops failed, fields dried up, families struggled to survive. In the small town of Bethlehem lived a man named Elimelech. With his wife Naomi and their 2 sons, Mathlon and Kilion, he made a difficult decision. They left the land of promise and traveled east to the country of Moab, searching for food and survival. At first, life in Moab seemed hopeful. The sons married Moabite women, Orpah and Ruth. Years passed, but tragedy struck. Elimelech died, then one son died, then the other. 3 widows were left behind. No husbands, no protection, no inheritance. Naomi's heart shattered. She had left Bethlehem full, and now she stood empty. When she heard that God had restored food to Israel, she decided to return home. With tears in her eyes, Naomi turned to her daughters-in-law and said, "Go back to your people. Go back to your families. May the Lord show you kindness." Orpah wept and returned to Moab, but Ruth did not move. She stood beside Naomi, trembling with emotion, and then she spoke words that would echo through generations. "Where you go, I will go. Where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God will be my God. Where you die, I will die." This was not convenience. This was covenant loyalty. Ruth chose poverty over comfort, faith over familiarity, God over her past, and heaven took notice. When Naomi and Ruth arrived in Bethlehem, the town stirred. The women whispered, "Is this Naomi?" Naomi replied with sorrow, "Do not call me Naomi," which means pleasant. "Call me Mara, bitter. For I went away full, and the Lord brought me back empty." But what Naomi could not see was that God had already planted redemption beside her. They arrived at the beginning of the barley harvest. Food was scarce, money was gone. So Ruth made a humble decision. She went to the fields to glean leftover grain, a provision God had made for the poor. Bent over in the dust, gathering fallen stalks, she worked quietly, faithfully, and without complaint, unnoticed by people, but not by God. That day, Ruth unknowingly entered the field of a wealthy landowner named Boaz, a man of honor, a man of integrity, a relative of Naomi's late husband. Boaz arrived and noticed Ruth immediately. He asked his workers, "Who is that young woman?" They told him, "She is Ruth, the Moabite, who came back with Naomi." Boaz approached Ruth gently and said, "Do not go to other fields. Stay here. Drink from my water. Work safely among my servants." Overwhelmed, Ruth bowed low. "Why have I found favor in your eyes?" she asked. Boaz replied, "I know what you have done for Naomi, how you left your home, how you chose loyalty. May the Lord reward you." That day, Ruth ate at Boaz's table. She carried home more grain than she had ever gathered before. When Naomi saw it, hope returned to her eyes. She whispered softly, "That man is our kinsman redeemer." In Israel, God had given a law of redemption. If a family lost land or lineage, a close relative could step in to restore it. Boaz had the legal right to redeem Naomi's family name and marry Ruth. But the decision required courage, humility, and public commitment. Naomi guided Ruth carefully. One night, Ruth approached Boaz at the threshing floor, not in temptation, but in tradition and honor. She lay at his feet and said quietly, "Spread your garment over me, for you are my redeemer." Boaz was moved. He answered, "You have shown greater kindness now than before. Do not be afraid. I will do what is right." But there was one problem. Another relative was closer in line. Redemption would require public legal agreement. The next morning, Boaz went to the city gate where legal matters were settled. He gathered elders and witnesses. When the closer relative arrived, Boaz said, "Naomi is selling the land of Elimelech. Will you redeem it?" The man agreed. Then Boaz added, "When you buy the land, you must also marry Ruth the Moabite to preserve the family name." Suddenly, the man hesitated. He withdrew, and in that moment, God opened the door. Before the elders in the town, Boaz declared, "I redeem Naomi's land, and I take Ruth as my wife." The people blessed them. "May the Lord make this woman like Rachel and Leah. May your family be strong in Israel." Ruth, the foreign widow, became a redeemed wife. Naomi, the bitter mother, was filled with joy, and God was writing history. Ruth and Boaz were married. God blessed their union with a son. They named him Obed. Naomi held the child close and wept, not tears of sorrow, but tears of restoration. The women of Bethlehem said, "Praise the Lord, Naomi has a redeemer. Your sorrow has turned into joy." Obed grew up. He became the father of Jesse, and Jesse became the father of King David. And generations later, from Ruth's bloodline, came Jesus Christ, the ultimate redeemer of humanity. The foreign woman became part of God's salvation story. Ruth's story is not just ancient history, it is a message for today. It tells us loyalty still matters, faith still opens doors, God still redeems broken stories. Ruth lost everything, but she refused to let pain define her future. Naomi thought God had abandoned her, but heaven was working quietly behind the scenes. Boaz chose obedience and became part of a divine legacy. And God used ordinary people to accomplish extraordinary purpose. Maybe you feel forgotten. Maybe you've lost something precious. Maybe your story feels unfinished. Remember Ruth. She started as a widow, but ended as a mother of kings. Because when you choose faith over fear, when you choose obedience over comfort, when you walk with God even in uncertainty, He writes redemption into your story. Not always immediately, not always easily, but always beautifully. Because the God who redeemed Ruth still redeems lives today. And your story is not over yet.